He's been waiting for so long. Now the gnome has come along, finally. A trap expertly planned. After scouring all the land, he stands with glee. Now with anger in his eyes, much to all of our surprise, he lay in wait. Bomb is already dead. We trusted but were misled. A ploy well played. Does the Bob remember who this man is? This man who has followed him so. Once the Bob had vanished after raiding his home, because he stopped him from hurting his wife. Swayze swore revenge, and now he holds all our lives in his hands. We are merely pawns in Swayze's plans. Swayze, happy dabble blue to feed this fire. Murder, curses, ponchos in dice and desire.
If her body's here and he lured us here, we could be in trouble.
Yes, if we have got everything that we planned to steal, dawn is approaching, and I am scared.
The barbarian. Scared.
I'm scared of what will happen to us if we stay here much longer. This is an incredibly fucked up situation, and frankly, this is Point Break.
The movie. So what are you doing then? Are you sticking around?
I think the sticking around is the least we should be doing. Daboff, why don't you get that ring?
Yep, I'm going to pick up the ring, put it into my inventory.
Are you going to try that poncho on?
I think there's a...
Give us a twirl.
Yes, let's get out of here as soon as possible. First, a fashion show.
I was going to say,
we've got a stage.
We are on a
may as well
stage.
use it.
For the sake of storing it, I'm going to throw it on. Rather than put it away in a backpack, I'm just going to throw it over my head, put it on.
20d6
does he look
necrotic
cool?
damage.
Does it suit him? Is it too big for him?
God, it's marginally too big for him, but it still fits in perfectly fine. Aside from the fact that those words don't make sense.
I'm going to say to the rest of the group, this isn't right for her. She deserves better than this. And I'm going to try and pick the locks that are holding her up. I assume she's chained by her wrists to the wall in an upright position, I guess.
Yeah, so just a simple manacle. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I'm going to try and
hold. She's essentially up like that.
Yeah. So she stood upright but hanging from her wrists. Is that right?
Sorry. So she's actually on the floor.
Oh, okay.
So she sat down, but yeah.
Still, Dabob's gonna pick the lock that holds her in place. Just even if we
You're
don't.
going to make us bury two people.
It's the right thing to do. Neither of them deserve this end.
You seem like a guy who's motivated by the right thing to do.
Okay, right. Let's deal with this. Dabov, I'm going to allow you to pick the lock. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You've got, assuming you're willing to stay long enough for it to work, you managed to get that unlocked. Bum the squirrel, just to clarify, is tied to the chair. Despite the fact that he's dead, he doesn't need to be tied down, but he is ultimately tied. So you would need to cut the ropes.
Cut the ropes, yeah, let's do that.
Cool. I'm going to suggest to the group.
I'll sling him over my shoulder.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest we carry both of them out and give them a proper burial. I think if the group agrees.
Question: with me and Krill being the strong ones, is it with me and Quinch being the strong ones, is it advisable to let Quinch carry the woman?
Well, listen, she's like the wind. She's going to be quite light, and I'll be able to manage that. You're the beast. You're the icon. I'm sure that you can carry the heavier one.
I'm just putting it out there for the party to decide.
He can't kill her twice.
I don't believe we've got time to give them a proper burial if we're meant to be back in the inn in the next, let's say hour. I would simply say perhaps we should leave them on the table and we shall ignite this whole house.
isn't
Yes,
it?
Yes, I completely agree. If we stay here much longer, I'm going to be a green dragon, very much sick, not
Burn
a blue
it
dragon
down.
any longer.
So, just to give you an idea, you're obviously inside a house that has no windows. You don't have any concept of what the time is right now.
There's so much wood, it would be so easy to make a funeral pyre.
It could be 11:14 and we wouldn't even know it. I think we need to get out of here before that mysterious character turns into the comeback kid.
Getting back to the inn, to the Staghorn Flagon in time for our ruse to hold water isn't important. It's very clear that this entire
What
thing
is the benefit of maintaining the ruse now that we sort of understand more?
This was all set up for us to come here. Nobody's going to arrest us for this heist. You know, we don't need the ruse of sleeping late in the room anymore. But I'm still concerned that, you know, there could be more to the setup. So,
all in favour of simply leaving the bodies and getting out, say aye.
Let's Daboff wants to give these. I think Daboff wants to give these bodies a proper send off. It would perhaps take too long to bury them, to dig graves and to bury them. So
I reckon funeral pyre.
Let's send them off in flames
on the table in the middle of this room.
Right, I
Just
gather
torch it.
up some of the wood from various boxes, various cabinets, and place it on the table.
Greg would like to take the map off the table before we set stuff on fire, just in case it comes to future use.
Excellent idea.
Good idea.
The table is now piled with wood scraps.
And we gathered all the items. Yeah, did someone grab the tooth in the end?
Yeah,
I believe everything's
cool.
I
everything's
grab
allocated.
Bum and place him at one end of the table.
Dabov, do you know the woman's name?
No, I only met her briefly when
Mrs. Swayze.
yeah, Mrs. Swayze
In that
presumably.
case, I will. I think that we should remember her forever, Lulu.
Lulu Swayze.
Don't. Are these all? Have you got like
Yes,
a list of Patrick Swayze references up there? Is that what's happening here?
About 25 episodes.
I mean, if you want to,
So-
we could bury her in the corner. Just
Can
call
I
her
just
baby.
say this is an honourable podcast, and we don't use any other IP on this show. So please don't. Please, we try and keep this as original as possible. How is the hat out of interest, Greg? Fitting you nicely?
Oh,
Good.
it feels like a dream.
No mops come to life or anything, no?
Yeah, Smog's obviously up on its end, kind of following me behind.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right. So are you basically you're putting the bodies on the large table and setting fire to this room and hopefully the entire house?
Well, we'll just get out and as we're leaving, maybe Greg could flop a few firebolts at him. We got any oil or something to make it go up a bit quicker?
Like grease.
MJ's got his bomb he didn't use.
Oh yeah.
I could splash a bit of oil on there. I've had experience lighting.
Nothing says honourable death like setting them ablaze with a tooth firebomb.
I don't know what that ghostly voice was, but we're not using the bomb on this is a disrespectful. That would be a disrespectful move. Like I say, I'm happy to splash a bit of oil on there, make them nice and flammable.
I'd be keen to do it and get out of here.
Yeah, we should make haste.
Quinch splashes a little bit of oil.
Imagine if someone actually had fire in their mouth. Yeah.
Again, the ghostly voice suggested something that I personally would find disrespectful.
I mean, we're setting
But I'm
them on
happy to do
fire.
so if it's the only thing.
Oh, you're going to poison breath the dead bodies and feel bad about it after all the things that have happened.
I'm a
Right.
reformed dragon.
Okay, so let's just move this on then. Right, so you've piled the bodies, you've put the bodies on the table. You've poured some oil and or grease, whatever it may be, around them, and I don't know if it's the rest of the room, just to make sure that everything is suitably
If
done.
I've done grease, can they both slip off the table?
I mean, you've 180'd your own decision.
No,
there.
I've-
You've gone from honourable death to
The grease is under the table. It's not under the
What?
bodies.
genuine question. What have you got that you could use to what are you going to use to set fire to it?
I mean, I could just chuck a firebolt on it.
Is firebolt actually fire?
Yes, I can chuck, but it does say if it's flammable, it ignites.
Right. Okay. There we go. Cool. You do that, and as the firebolt hits the as they say, as the firebolt hits the flammable object, it goes up in flame, and we have a moment to remember. Bum.
We've set fire to a
Very short moment, apparently.
we've set fire to a room with a house with no windows that we're not 100% certain we're not trapped in here.
It's an excellent move. I agree.
Can we go?
It's a strong move. It's very alpha of you. Yeah. So so you're now trying to get out the doors. The doors from this side are unlocked. You can make your way back. There are no riddles.
As we go past the room with the coins in, I wish to scoop up all the silver coins that are in the bowl.
Okay.
As we get to the room with masks, I grab the bear mask.
Of course you do, you son of a gun.
Can you just remind me what other animal masks there were in that room? Because I feel a bit left out that I've not got a mask.
Right, let's deal with the thing at a time. Coins. There are 6 silver coins remaining. That feels light, so we'll do another. There's 21 gold, silver coins total.
Okay, I'll take that.
In the imagine if I had never planned these to be animal masks and I just made it up in that session. Right. So we've got an owl. We've got a bear. Fuck it, you can have a bear mask.
Yes.
A badger. Can anyone else remember the ones that I listed? I think they were nocturnal. Most of the ones.
Yeah, the
There was a
badger
frog.
said that.
I know there was a frog.
There was a frog.
Okay, right. Let's just settle this. What animal do you want, Stuart?
Don't know. What's like a sexy animal?
Are you going to be the Cadbury's Caramel Bunny? Is that what you're going to be?
Come on. What's a nocturnal animal?
It doesn't have to be. Just an animal, mate. I want to get you out of this
I
place.
think you'd suit a crow.
Yeah, that seems fairly...
crow. I'll be a crow.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you're out of that room, into the elements room. Does anyone want to take a picture of a worm?
We haven't got a camera.
No, cool. Good.
We're in
So
our
you're through
element
there.
room.
You're into the next room, which is the armory. Is there anything in here that you guys want to take? Do you want to take any of the shields or the...
I think they were all pretty
Weapons
crap, weren't they?
One of the shield's covered in blood.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Okie dokie. No one wants anything from the army. I'm just making sure that you absolutely do steal everything that you possibly can. He did say you could. Any cards from the wolves?
I think it'd be rude not to take the ace of spades.
Yeah.
Okay, feel free. You can have the ace of spades. Comes off nice and easy in your hands, son.
Nice.
It is in a frame, so you will have to take it out of the frame. Right, and then you're back into the foyer. Anything from here that you'd like to take? Would you like one of the... Surprised no one's taking a grandfather clock at this rate.
If I could drag one of the Shea Longers out, that'd be great.
We all grab a grandfather clock each.
No, see, I wanted to retcon it and pick up every key that wasn't being used as well. So I've just got a random bunch of keys that do nothing.
Put them between
Fine.
your knuckles,
Yeah.
good weapon.
Yeah, I'll send you a list of all the keys that I had that were options. So you can have
A
those.
mysterious set of keys sounds like such a cool item to have.
Yeah. God, maybe I'll retcon one of them into a magic key. Let's see.
I raid the pantry. What items do we find in the pantry?
If I remember correctly, there was basically some snacks, some mead. I think there was some very thinly sliced potatoes,
Any alcohol?
some dried meat, some mead, and that was about it. I
No
think.
spirits, no.
No spirits.
Nah, I don't think it's haunted, mate.
Okay. Are we out?
Yeah, let's head out. I'm assuming we can tell it's like burning the other end.
Yeah. So by this time, given as Quinch said, the house has no windows. There is no natural way for the flames to escape. You start seeing some of the walls to the east of the building starting to burn down, and smoke starting to slowly and then more quickly starting to billow out of the side of the building. As you make your way out, of course, you now notice the sun is up. It is very difficult for you at this point to tell what sort of time it is, but it is very much quite early morning, and there's a good chance that people will be milling around the town. So
Well, fortunately, we've not made a
beacon.
any grand visual impact, so that's fine.
Should we? Is it still worth heading back to the room?
I think if we take the back streets back, all right.
Is that...
Back streets back. All right.
There's absolutely no reason for us to return to the tavern.
But I mean, I'd like to stay in town to join the day and try and retrieve Mr. Mosey.
Yeah, we still have business in the town.
Let's just get to the blacksmiths.
Yeah, but it's too early, I'd assume. We can just. I mean, we're not going to get in trouble for just walking back into town.
From the
Away from
direction
the
of a
burning
building that's on
building.
fire. Yeah, no, probably
Well,
not.
we'll just be like, oh my god, we went for an early morning stroll and there's a building on fire.
Strangers arrive in town,
Save
biggest
the town.
building, save the town, building sets on fire.
We are like heroes in this town.
I mean, we did save them from
Yeah.
Right.
giants.
So, okay, so what you... That doesn't give you the right to burn down buildings.
But surely that shows the action of not evil people.
I mean, Crew's actually pretty tired. It's been a long couple of hours of puzzle solving. He's only got the brain the size of like a walnut. Realistically, he wants to go have a nap before we get on with picking up Mr. Mosey and getting out of town.
You've woken up from a long thing. You can have a short rest if you
I'm just
really want to. But you've got
trying
no
to play
need to.
out thematically that it makes sense.
All right, fine. So what are you trying to make your way back to the inn or not?
Could we skirt around the outside of the town and come back into the town the way we first entered the town, past the blacksmiths, completely the opposite end of the town to the building that's on fire?
Yeah. Well, one thing I've learned on the streets is that guilty people run, whereas innocent people don't. So if we hang around, carry on the ruse, that gives us then a few days to retrieve Mr. Mosey from the blacksmith so that she can finish off the armour. And we've set the wheels in motion for this ruse that we were in bed all night. I think it'd be a shame not to use it.
Okay. How far have you skirted around the town then?
I reckon to the main entrance to the village, which is southwest.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, like, obviously you don't want to be too close to these buildings because potentially people were looking out their back window or, you know, walking past and can see you between buildings. Like, how far away are you? Are you like, how far away are you thinking that you need to be from town for people to
couple of hundred meters, maybe?
Yeah, not particularly far, I don't think.
Yeah,
Okey-dokey.
it depends on how
Alright
the
then.
terrain sort of shields us really from sight. If it's open fields, maybe a bit further, but if there's any trees, a bit further out, maybe stick to tree lines.
Can you all roll me a stealth check then, please?
Yeah.
No one's wearing heavy armor, are they?
Quinch, did you go in armor? Oh no, this is not. It's me.
Not
I
heavy
keep
armor,
forgetting. Yeah. No one's in heavy.
Yeah, mine's
5.
24.
Cool.
22.
Natural 20.
13.
Brilliant.
Cool. Yeah. The most of you pass, so we'll assume that that despite Quinch in his non-heavy armor, still managed to look like a big blue dragonborn.
I glide 1 inch off of the floor, so I'm low enough to...
I mean, in theory, you could just fly up about 200 feet
Yeah, I
and then
did
fly
that.
back down.
Yeah, I did that.
You could do a superhero landing
No,
if you really wanted to.
Actually, yeah,
1
I
inch.
used the smoke as cover,
Right. Okay.
because I can breathe fire, so I can breathe smoke, probably.
Yeah, so you managed to do that. You managed to go further. You know, obviously it means a longer journey. Obviously it means by the time you're going to get back to the inn, it is going to be a little bit later in the morning. And it wouldn't necessarily, you know, bearing in mind you went to bed at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. So for you to be coming out of your room at like, I don't know, like 10 a.m., You guys love a big old sleep. These people.
We did say that we wanted a lion, didn't we? After fighting the
we did say
quick sleeps
late
till
checkout.
11,
Yeah,
Yeah.
late
you
checkout.
did, yeah.
and we had fought all the giants.
Okay.
So
Where is the inn?
It is here.
Okay, and the blacksmith is fairly central to the town, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Here.
Oh, okay, right, lovely.
Yeah.
So the blacksmith is on the outskirts of the town.
Yeah, it's sort of central to the outskirts.
Okay, fellas, what are we going to do? We're going to go straight to the blacksmith.
Let's try and sneak back into the inn.
Okay.
Let's perpetuate the ruse, and then we've still got that if we need it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because
Okay.
presumably the armor's not finished yet. She did say like 3 days or something, didn't she? So
We should... What if someone sees us? What are we going to say that we've been doing? We should have a story that all of our story is the same story.
Well, you're trying to. Are you sneaking in back in through the window?
Yeah, we're going to try and sneak in.
Yeah, but if it fails, there's a backup plan.
Quinch has recently grown wings. Quinch has suffered since Quinch was in his previous life as a monk, where the monastery that he was part of was brutally, all the monks were brutally slaughtered, all bar Quinch. He has suffered terrible sleep terrors, which have always resulted in kind of periods of somnambulism, which is sleepwalking. And since the sprouting of his wings, this has translated into sleep flying, and unfortunately Quinch had flown uncontrollably out of the window, and we were trying to get him safely back in without waking him up.
bit weird that the fire-breathing dragon has gone walkabout on a sleep terror infused nightbender, and that there's a building on fire though. So if we use that story, then she'll be like, "Oh, you didn't torch a building in your sleep, did you?"
I don't think I've told anyone that I breathe fire, so I just won't mention it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a famous fact that dragons can breathe fire.
Right. Okay then. So I've made you roll a stealth just to get you back to the sort of front of the get you back to the entrance to town. Let's just see if another stealth, please, just to see if you manage to make your way back into the building without making any stupid noises or anything that would alert anyone.
17.
18.
I got a 7.
I got a 10.
15.
How the tables have turned. The neon beacon.
So on your journey, you obviously try and make your way further. I assume that you're going to be, because obviously the inn being back here, you obviously want to be making your way, I guess, sort of round this way to try and get in the back side of the inn, so to speak, because I don't think you didn't leave through the front door. So you struggle to do so. Not quite, you managed to get to the front of the town, or the entrance of the town, a lot easier and a lot, less noticed. But on your way into the inn, there's definitely some noise. There's definitely, as you make your way in unspotted, no one sees you. However, getting back in, you're not quite as deft as you had been getting out, and there's a few noises coming from Dweezil and Greg's room, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In particular, followed by you managed to get back into the room, and not long after that happens, you hear like heavy footsteps coming up the stairs, and then all of a sudden, are you boys all right?
Just, a little overslept. It's done my back in terribly. I mean, So I was just doing some exercises,
Can you roll me a deception, please?
Oh, I'm king of deception, so yes. That's a 14
He says aloud.
plus... plus 6, so 20.
20. Okay, I was just very worried. I know you said you was going to have a late checkout, but it is 10 a.m. and I was expecting to at least see you for for breakfast. You did go to bed very early, and now I'm hearing all sorts of noises up in your room.
Yeah,
I've not-
Tai Chi, yoga, cleansing the soul. Yes, making sure I'm ready for the day. I'll be down for breakfast shortly. Pop the kettle on.
And then you sort of hear her sort of go a bit quiet, and she sort of you just hear like mumbled voices of just like, what's happening? Okay, right. I'm going to go. Listen, checkout is coming soon. If you could just, something's taken my attention. I think something's going on over in the Rippington house. So can you just you get yourself out of your room and get the others and come and meet me downstairs as soon as possible, please.
Is there anything we can help with? What's going on?
I'm not. What? Fire? Sorry. We're going to need. Sorry, can you just come out of the room, please, as soon as you possibly can? And with that, you hear her just stomping off and going downstairs.
Nice. Crisis averted.
Back to bed.
Time for a lion.
Right, so what are you doing then?
Well, I guess it would be best to go downstairs to,
Yeah, if you don't want to cause any more suspicion.
Yeah.
I was listening at the door the whole time to the hallway, so I relayed this information to Dabble.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, you I don't know if Quinch heard it. He probably would have. There would have been a bit of a commotion.
Yeah, he was in earshot.
Okay. So what are you doing? Are you just staying in your room? Are you coming down?
Let's meet in the hallway.
Yeah, I'm going to retrieve what's left of that music box that I set running. I don't know if it's still running, but I'm going to stop it if it is and just stash it. Make sure there's no trace of that.
Okay. You do so.
That was a very refreshing sleep. What's happening? I heard some commotion in the hallway. Shall we go downstairs, fellas?
Before we go downstairs, can we all just give each other a quick once over and make sure that we haven't got soot on our faces or anything?
I am going to take the poncho off as well and put that in my backpack.
Oh yeah, I've left everything that we've stolen.
Yeah,
No, don't
I would
leave
imagine
anything
I'll
in your
take
room.
my hat off as well because
Yeah, am I taking off the owl? The
Oh
owl
yeah, we should probably take off our disguises.
We're just going down there dressed in the most absurd clothing.
Covered in splintered bits of cabinet, soot.
Wearing half of Rippington's wardrobe.
Dripping in Rippington. You managed to take yourself downstairs in a nice gingerly fashion, sort of just playing dumb. There seems to be commotion downstairs, and you can see people just grabbing buckets, glasses, whatever they can of water, and just rushing out the door, just taking as much water out of the building as possible.
Greg grabs a vial of water, and then just walks over to the fire and starts boiling it.
The innkeeper says, "No. What are you doing? We need this water. Listen. There's a fire up at the Rippington house."
Who's Rippington?
Yes. What's this?
That's certainly a name I've not heard before.
Deception, please.
3.
3. Are you really saying you don't know the name Rippington? I mean, he's quite.
Oh, you said Rippington. Sorry, I thought.
Yes, he's
I thought you said Bippington, which is definitely a different name.
No, he's a minor celebrity, sort of this part of the world. He's a magician. He made his name down in Waterdeep, and he's been doing some. He lives here. He doesn't really perform here as much as he used to, but anyway, it doesn't matter who he is. His house is on fire, and we're just taking as much water as we possibly can to try and put the fire out.
Yes, I must say, I don't normally need to find out whose house is on fire before I want to help. So please direct us and we'll help in any way that we can.
Right, okay, well, and she sort of motions over to a bucket and says, "Look, can you just take that into the kitchen, and can you just go into the vat of water. I don't know what they're called, barrel of water, and just scoop up as much as you possibly can. And if you could take it, Cecily, can you lead this big guy over to the Rippington house so he can see where the fire is? I'm sure he'll be able to see it anyway.
We could probably just go out the side and see where the smoke's coming from. But Cecily will show you the quickest way to get there, because I'm guessing you've never been to his house. You've never been to his house? I don't know. Where is it?
Just show us where. Don't answer. Just show us where it is.
Right. Okay. Cecily, if you could just lead them in the right direction. Yeah, if you could all just take as much water as you possibly can. I mean, there is a lake out the back as well. If you want to take some from there as well, I know there's people grabbing some water from there as well. So if you could just do anything you possibly can, that'd be absolutely excellent.
Do you have any barrels I could take?
Check down by the lake. There's possibly some there. I certainly not here. We've been using it to store the water that we serve. So
Quinch heroically unfurls his wings and says, "The sky shall drip today," and takes a saucepan.
Doesn't Greg have? Can't he manipulate water?
Yeah, I was going to say I don't even need a container. I'm just going to manipulate it to hold like a small round circle. Yeah, like water bombs. Just carry them along with me.
What can you do? Manipulate water?
You can choose an area of water that you can see in range and fits in a 5-foot cube. You can manipulate it in one of the following ways.
Is a lot of water.
Yeah, you can instantaneously move it, or otherwise change the flow of the water in the direction, up to 5 foot in any direction. You can change the form of the water into simple shapes and animate it in certain directions.
You could walk it across like Fantasia.
Or I can freeze it. So, yes, I'm going to walk it across like Fantasia.
Oh, that's so good.
But I don't have my hat, so it's not as cool now.
I'm very pleased that you set fire to the house furthest away from the largest water body, by the way.
I hate the fact that we're having to deal with the consequences of our actions.
The new podcast title for this show, by the way, dealing with the consequences of their own actions. Who's joining in? Are you all going to grab some water? Are you all going to do something?
Dabble will grab like a pint glass. He's only a gnome.
I asked the bar lady, tavern owner, whoever we are speaking to. Do you know if the blacksmith lady will be there?
What was the name of the lady?
Is this really the most important question right now? A man's house is on fire.
I just mean if she's not there, we can get her to help out and collect my bear at the same time.
It seems weird that you've fixated on one person. I mean, the man might still be in that building.
I saw
him here yesterday.
I did. I didn't see anyone yesterday. But you're right. Let's go. Ignore what I said.
And she just gets a flagon of water and just literally thrusts it into your hand and said, "Could you just go, please?"
Okay,
sorry.
Let's go.
Dabol's going to say to her, "Where are we going again?" You could say my memory is a little Swayze, and then winks at the rest of them.
Sorry, did you wink then?
Nervous tick. I don't know if I've told you before, but I was in a fire when I was young. I'm very nervous, but I'm still willing to help.
And then he turns and winks again.
Yeah, turns and winks again.
The Rippington house, you will see it is. I mean, I did offer Cecily, but you will see where the fire is. Can you please just, if you did such a great job for us yesterday, please can you just help us one more time?
Yeah, of course. I'll make haste, and we'll go put it out.
We'll speed this up somewhat. You get involved at this point. When you first step out of the inn, you see that basically the whole town is just it's a conga line of just people just walking bodies of water over to the fire, and some walking back with empty buckets and whatnot. You get involved in the day. This is a large fire. Obviously, this was a large building, and given the length of time it took you to get back round to the inn, some time has passed. Like literally, the entire house is on fire, and this is going to be this proves to be quite a difficult fire to put out. It does take you several hours of doing this with the smallest bodies of water that you could possibly get. There's we live in a fantasy world. There is no hose system here to deal with this. But eventually the fire does go out through some help through the fact that it burns away everything very possibly there. I don't know how long a house would take to burn completely to the ground. Probably quite a while, but a combination of the two, the fire is eventually out and does not spread any further than the grounds of the Rippington Manor house. So yes, the fire is out, and you prove yourselves to be able heroes again, helping out the town.
Oh, I can honestly say I don't know why anyone would want to have set fire to that place. Boggles the mind.
Who are you saying this to, and where are you?
Just sarcastically saying it to the group, who are the only people in earshot.
Do you also wink, or?
No.
Right, fair enough. So what do you want to do? The fire is out. The town is sort of just, everyone is just covered in soot and sweat and just grimy from the fire and the hard work of the day. It's now evening, by the way. It's now probably about 7:00 in the evening. Certainly, you've barely eaten in this time.
I was gonna
You've
say,
not had time.
it sounds to me like it's another trip to the inn for another stay for the evening, wash, eat food, get merry.
Quinch suggests to the group that they should buy some of the key contributors to putting the fire out some drinks as a way to
build rapport.
Yes.
I'm going to ask around. I assume a crowd's gathered around to put the fire out. I'm going to ask anyone: is there any sign of the owner? Do you know if he made it out? Trying to show some genuine concern.
So you're all back at the inn at this point, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and who are you speaking to?
Who's there?
So the town the inn is in a relatively somber mood. Although Rippington wasn't one of their own, the building certainly was. It's been there for quite some time, and regardless, it's been a heavy day. Following another heavy day the day before, but it's fairly full of people just drowning their sort of sorrows and getting some succor from the day that they've just been through. So it's just filled with town regulars. You do not spot the blacksmith, unfortunately, Sam. The innkeeper lady is behind the bar, furiously serving drinks wherever possible. But there's just random townspeops around the place.
I don't think Greg would be too worried about interacting with the people, so he's going to go find a quiet corner in the inn with some kind of flagon of booze, and he's going to flip through the book on Celestials and how to kill them.
Okay, so you can mark. You can. So have I told you about the book yet?
You said.
Yes, I did. Read it for 10 days.
Yeah.
So you can mark that off as one day.
What did it
give
me? Sorry, after the 10 days, it was some.
It would give you advantage on any sort of knowledge checks against celestial beings.
Nice.
Sorry, Dabov, you were. So who were you speaking to? Sorry, you saying.
I was just going to ask the bartender. Seems the logical place to start. Just say, was there any story of Lord was it a Lord? Mr. Rippington, I guess I'll refer to him as. Was he in the house at the time? Was there any? Do we know anything? And just show some concern.
I don't know if there was anyone in there at the time. We're more concerned with just putting the fire out. It's perhaps people will start looking through the building to see if there was anyone. As I say, we saw Lord Rippington yesterday. He was here for the festival. But whether he's still in town or not, it's I don't know. I don't know him well enough to know his movements. But
is he a respected member of the community, or do you not know so much?
He's respected as any of our locals. But he's not somebody that I know.
Gents, I feel like we've had a long couple of days with the festival and the giants. What do you suggest we do?
Certainly, I'm a bit tired to do any talking or chit-chat. So, to be honest, it's been a tough day. I'm covered in soot now, and I would actually like to do whatever you guys want to do, but maybe a bit of bedtime.
Bit of food, then bed, I think. I think that's logical. So if we haven't eaten, just maybe eat something, lay low for now, and then go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So I think one of you mentioned, so did you want to buy food and drink for people or anything like that? Is that something you wanted to do? Quinch?
Should we just put some money behind the bar?
Yeah, just say this is for anyone that helped today.
Okay, so, I mean, ale is 2 silver pieces a gallon, 4 copper pieces a mug. So, 1 gold piece is 10 silver pieces.
Should we just put a gold piece each behind the bar and just make an announcement that we're doing this for the good townspeople?
Yeah, I mean, that seems fair. It's only 1 gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. The innkeeper says, "Oh, that's so very kind of you. Such the things you've done for us already. We don't know you, and yet you've saved us from giants, and you've helped out save one of our buildings. Well, not save it, but certainly put out the fire that was there. And this just goes to show what kind and great strangers that you've been to us. And please, I assume you need another room. I unfortunately can't give it to you for free, but I can give you a reduced rate of 5 silver pieces total.
We'll pay full price, but we very much appreciate the offer.
We have to support the local economy.
Oh, it's so very kind of you. I'll tell you what. I'll take the 5 silver pieces that I offered to you. The remaining 15 that I would take from you, I will put it towards a fund to help rebuild. It won't help much, but I'll put it towards some sort of fund to help rebuild the house.
I'm sure Rippington needs it.
Dweezil pulls 20 silver out to pay for that.
Okay, thank you. Okie dokie. So you spend the evening in the bar and then go up for what?
I'm just envisioning everyone in the inn coming up to us and thanking us so much.
It's very kind of you, I think, for setting on fire the biggest house in town and then putting it out after stealing everything, of course. What heroes you are. So you eventually move back into your rooms, I assume?
Yep.
Yeah, same sitch as last time, unless we want to mix it up a little bit.
So I'd like to investigate the poncho, see if there's anything interesting. If I can, I don't know if it has anything of note before I go to bed.
Okie dokie. Right. Okie dokie. Let's do this. Do the rest of you want to investigate your items?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okie dokie. I normally it takes 2 rests, but I think given everything that you've taken, I think it's worthwhile. Some of it just speeding it up a little bit. Right, I'm going to do these in order that I've got them here. So, Dweezil, the horn that you took, the snake, you look it over. You've already ascertained that it's not a musical item. You've deduced that it's not a drinking horn. Where might one place a horn other than to one's mouth?
On your head.
Possibly. I'm thinking more old-fashioned things that perhaps somebody would do who was deaf.
Oh, a hearing horn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's you look this over and you deduce that it is an ear horn.
Right.
This is an ear horn of hearing. And what this essentially means that even within, I believe, magical deafness, should that ever occur, you will still be able to hear.
Wow. Cool.
Okay. Oh, well, obviously if you place it to your ear. Gregomil, your beautiful, beautiful hat. This is a sorcerer's hat. This requires attunement by a wizard, so I don't know if you've got any other items attuned at the moment. Sorry, a sorcerer. So it needs to be one of your attuned items should you decide to use it. So, whilst you are wearing it, you gain the following benefits. You can use the hat as a spellcasting focus for your sorcerer spells, should you need to do so. You can as well try to cast a cantrip that you don't know. The cantrip must be on the sorcerer's spell list, and you must make a DC 10 Intelligence Arcana check. If the check succeeds, you cast a spell. If the check fails, so does the spell, and the action used to cast the spell is also wasted. In either case, you can't use this property again until you finish a long rest. So essentially, you can only use it once per day, realistically.
Nice, yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to just go through the magical items?
I mean, I'm assuming that if it's not magical, it's just standard. So
the large tooth, I'm not going to tell you anything about. The sticks, I'm not going to tell you anything about.
Is that you saying they're not magic?
Yes, I'm just going to tell you the magic items, and I'm not. There is. I mean, that's not to say there's not more to learn about these other items, but they're not magic, and so you can investigate them at leisure at another time, or take them to a dealer or something like that. I'm just going to deal with the magical side of things for the time being. The candlesticks, there's nothing to worry about. Neither is there the waterfall, the stone tablet, the red book you already know about. I'm just going through these. What's the next one? So the only other thing left to...
Cube of many colours.
Coming back to, sorry, just before that one, the owl helmet.
Yeah.
Who are you in the room with? Who are you with? You're with Dabov, aren't you?
Correct. Shall I try and pop it on?
Pop it on.
Pop it on.
As you're wearing it, Dabov, are you looking at him?
I say, Dabov, look at my glorious helmet.
Yeah, I look at it and think, that looks a lot like my mask.
As he puts his helmet on, Krill's eyes turn red. There you go. That's it.
Owl helmet, red eyes.
That's it. Quinch, your cube. You look at you've got it in your hands, and you're looking it over, and you notice that the colours are all over, all over each of the sides. And whilst you're tinkering with it, you notice that the sides turn. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but what I will tell you is once per day you may make a dexterity check to move those items. And you may start that now if you wish.
Absolutely.
Actually, I'll change that to sleight of hand, which is the same thing, I guess.
Oh, okay. 15.
15. Okay. Thank you. You move it, and now the colours are in a slightly different pattern.
This is a mysterious cube, and it will keep me very much engaged.
Excellent. And finally, the poncho.
So does that mean that the token and the painting are not magical?
That is correct. They are not magical. That's not to say they're not interesting. That's not to say that they are not of use. But it is to say that they are not magical. Okay. The poncho. You put it on, and now that you're away from the area, which is quite strange because actually you're out of danger and everything now, but whilst wearing the poncho, you feel somewhat more mischievous. You feel like the possibilities of this poncho are quite significant, and that somewhat its bland nature, so to speak, maybe its key. This is a goncho. When the wearer's HP drops below 20% of their maximum, whatever that may be at the time, the user automatically turns it invisible for 1 minute.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Harry Potter.
Dabov, where have you gone?
Who hit me?
They will remain invisible until the end of the minute, even if their HP increases above the 20%. Any items on the wearer at the time they turn invisible will also be invisible unless dropped, but any new items picked up will not become invisible. Whilst invisible, if the wearer attacks an enemy, casts a spell on an enemy, or in any way negatively impedes an enemy, he or she becomes visible again. The wearer may, however, move, interact with items and the environment, and assist non-hostile creatures, both physically and magically, without becoming visible again. Any creature with true sight will still be able to see the wearer.
Nice.
Interesting.
So yeah, whilst you're wearing it, once you get close to death, you suddenly get a bit harder to find and hit.
Awesome.
You can essentially go around and be sneaky and supportive.
Feels like it was written just for me.
It does, doesn't it? The Goncho.
I love that name, by the way.
Thank you. You're welcome. With that, having looked over your items, having looked over your bounty that you've stolen, taken, been given, however you wish to look at it, and with the mental draining and the physical draining day that you've had, you settle down to sleep and have a long rest, I assume.
Quinch is sitting on his bed, just staring at the statue, being very contemplative and looking very steely. And if it were a film, the shot would now be zoomed in on Quinch's face, and a single tear runs down Quinch's face. And as he looks into the statue, he says, "Today was all worth it." And then he rests his head on the pillow and hugs up to the statue.
Thank you for joining us on our adventures. Please subscribe and leave a review on whichever platform you listen to podcasts through. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at Dice and Desire, where we share behind the scenes bits and bobs, and we'd love to interact with you there.
This is the Explorers Collection, brought to you by Homebrew Dice. From ancient tales to treacherous lands, each of these 10 dice sets and matching boxes will take you and your party into new worlds of adventure. We need your support to bring this incredible collection to life, which is why it's coming up on Kickstarter on July 29th. With stretch goals available, such as art prints, PDF one-shot campaigns written for each set, and more, you can immerse yourself in worlds created for an escape from reality. What are you waiting for? Go to homebrewdice.co.uk/Kickstarter to be notified on launch, and let's go on an adventure together.